What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rahul, and today we're going to be going over the one deck in the format that seems to have a very good matchup into Mew VMAX. Now, if you guys don't remember this beautiful guy, Eternatus VMAX, he was all the hype when Darkness Ablaze came out. With Eternal Zone, you were able to put 8 Pokemon on your bench if they're Dark type, and you have Dread End to do a bajillion damage. Now, Eternatus was always combated by cards like Power Plant, Path to the Peak, cards that just made you not play the game. And Path to the Peak is still a very important card. But we're going to kind of get around that a little bit. We're going to be playing this card called Galarian Weezing with neutralizing gas as long as it's in our active spot. So we can kind of stick the Galarian Weezing in the active spot. Make it so a lot of Pokemon don't get to play the game while we set up our board with a severe poison attack. And then all of a sudden we can come up and clean up the game with Eternatus. Now we also have this really cool card called Galarian Moltres V with Dire Flame Wings, which lets you accelerate a Dark Energy once per turn to this Pokemon. Aura Burn is a very good attack for 190, and it kind of works itself out with the prize trade. And then we have 4 copies of Crobat, because obviously it's a Dark-type Pokemon, and it draws us cards. Now, we still need a little bit of extra cheese to win games. Crushing Hammer, very good card. If you don't know, when in doubt, you don't know if your deck's good, pull a Crushing Hammer, see if it works. We have 2 copies of Energy Switch, 1 copy of Evolution Incense, because, you know, why not to get some more cards? I had just like an extra slot. I was debating that or a 3rd Energy Switch, and I think the 1 extra slot kind of figures itself out. 4 copies of Great Ball, 4 copies of Quick Ball, very standard across the board. I want 4 copies of Great Ball over like 4 copies of Incense or something, because Incense really only grabs us the Weezing and the Eternatus VMAX, but a lot of times I think just being able to Great Ball, thin a little bit, get that Crobat kind of keeps us digging a little bit further. We have 4 copies of Switch because we need to keep moving around. It is really unfortunate that all these guys have really high retreat cost, especially this Weezing and the Eternatus, so we need to keep pivoting between our attackers. We have 3 copies of Training Court to replace the existing stadium, which is probably going to be Path to the Peak a lot of the time. Yeah, so we need to be able to bump those paths when we can. 3 copies of Boss so we can chase down those 2 prize bench sitters if we need to. 3 copies of Marnie to kind of reset our opponent's hand. And 4 copies of Professor's Research. With 2 Hiding Darkness Energies to help us retreat, we've got ourselves a good deck. Let's jump into a game. Now, the idea is you're going to be able to take care of decks like... Mew very easily, but some of the other decks in the format are going to be a little bit difficult to deal with, especially path decks, especially fighting decks. But we're going to see if we can find ourselves a Mew. Let's see if we can prey ourselves on it and make some magic happen. If you guys enjoy the content, obviously like, subscribe. I appreciate every single person that clicks on every single video of mine. You guys mean the world to me. I know during the holiday season it's going to be a little bit rough for me on views and stuff like that, and also might be rough on me putting out content because I will be leaving starting soon. So everything you're seeing earlier, I'm going to try to pre-record, get as much stuff done this upcoming weekend as I can before, you know, I'm gone, before I'm gone for the holiday season. So I'd like to get as much done as I can. That being said, none of you are obligated to do anything or help me in any way, but I would just appreciate if you guys watched my content and had a good time. Now we're going to just grab the Moltres, I think. Just set up the kind of board the way we want it to, and let's go ahead and research. We just want to find ourselves, we don't want to draw into the Weezing, but we just want to find ourselves in a good position here. So we didn't put a Darkness Energy into the discard, but let's just go ahead and Ascension. Now Ascension really just shuts down the Drizzle from coming into play next turn and giving our opponent a playable hand. And the Octillery potentially. So there's a good chance that we're up against something like Rapid Strike Urshifu, given that we've seen both the Sobble and the Remoraid, but it looks like it is a Rapid Strike Inteleon deck, which means they're going to be healing a lot of damage here and there. I don't know if this bodes well for us. I think this is actually just a bad matchup because the Crushing Hammers are going to be able to put the energies back into their hand. They're going to be able to play the game the way they want to. So all in all, it's like a little bit rough. So he goes Heads and Drizzles and Octilleries, no ability, no ability. But here's the question. Do we bring up the Inteleon and start poisoning it? Because if we do that, there's a pretty good chance that he can just Cheryl off the damage, and then the game once again gets hard for us. I don't think our opponent's ever going to put down an energy for us to Crushing Hammer away. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say no. Boom. Instantly punished. I don't know what that one was about. Let's get ourselves the VMAX. If we had an E-switch this turn and we're able to dig a little bit deep, I think we'd be able to get the one-shot. So maybe we're going to dig for it. Let's see if we can get the ball rolling with a boss. Oh, no, we can't even E-switch. I'm silly. We drew into 2 VMAX, so that's a little bit unfortunate. So if we bring this up, they can evolve and one-shot us potentially. If we bring this up, 40, 80, 120 back into their turn. So let's go ahead and bring up the Octillery because I think this is the least movable piece. Yeah, it's the least movable piece. They either need a Stadium or they need to Energy to retreat. And we know that this tech probably only plays 4 copies of Rapid Strike Energy. So once they're out of those 4 energy cards, we kind of win the game. But they do probably play 1 Tower of Waters at least. If they're playing Tower, they're playing the Tower build. If they're playing Path, they're playing Path. But there's at least a couple of switching cards that we need to watch out for here and there. We'll see. Oh, boss. Okay. Is it a stall tactic? Are you stalling me? Do you think that you can get... No, he's just grabbing cards. Okay, I forgot that you have the Octillery. That's right. He's moving the Weezing out of the active. But that's a little bit of a downside of this Weezing engine, because while we needed to buy time, it has to be in the active spot. We've not accelerated any energy yet with our guy, Moltres. Ocarina's for 2 for next turn, maybe? That doesn't seem great. Their hand doesn't seem good. That seems good for me. They can, I guess, go... get the Shady Dealings, right? And they can grab any 2 cards here. I don't know what they'd grab. Octillery not grabbing Rapid Energy potentially means that they have no way to move this turn, or they have the energy already in their hand. Either way, it's a little bit dicey for us. I'm going to just assume they have no way to move the act. No, they have to have a way. There's a net. Yeah, there's a net and a bucket. So they probably already have the energy in hand. We don't have a Marnie, actually. Like, kind of wild with even our like heavy hounds of Marnie. We don't have a Marnie in our hand, which would be really good right now. Okay, there's a Remo coming back down. We're going to see ourselves a bucket being able to use this ability, double gunner, discard our water, and do 2020 somewhere. So probably E-turn and probably Crobat to set up a Crobat boss order play. That's what I can reasonably assume would happen here. Let's see if they have the Rapid Energy, though, because I think that's the one piece they'd be missing. But they did grab Ocarina's over the energy, so you have to assume they have it. Like, it's a pretty foregone conclusion that they probably have the energy here. I unfortunately gave them a Training Court here. There's a water. Oh. Okay, that feels like a little bit of a mistake on our opponent's part. Let's go ahead and Crushing Hammer. Tails. Okay, we're going to research. We should attach the energy to the back to potentially switch it, but I also want to accelerate with the Moltres ability. So we've got a lot of good pieces into play. We're going to go ahead and switch instead of doing another play here. Let's go ahead and quick ball the quick ball. We do not have any more VMAX, which is a little bit of a concerning point. Let's go ahead and draw cards with Crobat first. I need to, fill my bench anyway. Did not get very far. We're going to go ahead and 150. Now our opponent can Cheryl this damage off and attach a Rapid Strike Energy and kind of get to play the game off the back of that. But if they choose not to do that, or if they don't have the means to do that, I just need to bench 2 more Pokemon and I have the one shot. Or I can Balloon, research this energy away, E-switch the energy, and kind of play the game off the back of that. So I've got myself some options here. Let's see where this takes us. The Weezing did buy us ourselves that turn, so we'll see if that kind of does something here. Just a basic attachment here. G-Max Spiral, probably. And bouncing 1 energy back to hand, maybe? Our opponent needs to find another Inteleon to bench this turn. That is of utmost importance for them. I can actually Marnie them. And take the one shot, hopefully. They grabbed the Rapid Energy. But they didn't. Why wouldn't you just use the ability here? Put the 2020 somewhere. And then attach the Rapid Energy. And bounce that back to hand. I think that's probably the correct play. Or do you just grab the baby Inteleon with the Rapid Search and bench it? Because that also feels important to have. Because if I knock out this Inteleon this turn, what do? So they attached and then they Sherald. Okay. Very interesting line of play. I'm not entirely sure if that's correct. We're going to E-switch here so I can put the hiding energy on the active, giving ourselves more options. And I'm going to Marnie. Our opponent has the Rapid Energy in hand. We want to get rid of that one piece that they have, even if it is, not a big piece. It is crucial. Let's go do this. Let's do this. Get some more guys into play. Let's do this, and let's do this. Now we've got a full bench. We get the Dread End 270. We're putting a lot of pressure on now. This is where it gets tough. This is where it gets tough for our opponent. With the 270, what I could have also done is retreat into the Weezing, do the 40, let that damage stack, and retreat back into our Eternatus, and then take the knockout off the back of that. But what I did is I did not do that, so that's a little bit in hindsight. If I do make that play, if I do make that play, then the Octillery doesn't get to Rapid Strike Search the energy, and if they had a Sobble on the board, it would prevent them from, you know, getting that follow-up play. Now, I don't have any more VMAX in the deck. There's one of my prize cards. So on this knockout, I will lose, you know, Koffing, Crobat probably here. But this Moltres should be able to hopefully take this knockout here. Or just fingers, toes and fingers, everything crossed if they don't have a Cheryl here. That would really be a nightmare scenario. Please don't have a Cheryl. Please? Please? Please. Please. I mean, this is, I think, a silly 20 damage. Because if you knock out this E-turn, this goes away anyway. So no Cheryl. Cool. No Cheryl comes down. We are rewarded ultimately for our greedy play. And there is peace in the world. Let's go ahead. I mean, I already have for your treat. I think I want to keep Marnieing. We need to find an energy. Or we can just attack with E-turn, which is also fine. But I think I want to attack with Moltres this turn. And there's a concede. We got him. I mean, we got rid of the Rapid Strike energy. There's no Inteleon on the bench the next turn. That's really just one of those situations where our opponent did not bench correctly and kind of get the board rolling as quickly as they should have. And we kind of capitalized on that, and we, I guess, took out their one attacker. So what happens on that following turn is that they're going to bench the Inteleon. They're going to, I don't know, do something with the rest of their board. And I just go boss kill the Inteleon. And then they can't, like, push up another Inteleon and wait. Like, they can't just push up another Inteleon and wait for my turn to pass. Like, it's not something that's not a feasible option, because all the one prizes are one-shottable by Eternatus with the 270 damage that we do. This hand's okay. I have the Weezing. I can't Weezing immediately. So we're going to open E-turn because I don't know what they're playing. And Lone Koffing is really easy to get donked. That's rather unfortunate, actually. This feels like the one card in the game that just kind of poops on us. Okay, let's go get a Crobat. That's really scary, actually. We can't bench too hard. I can't bench anymore. I needed an energy here, I think. Okay, we're just going to grab these and chill for the turn. So I'm kind of banking it on next turn. But if I give him more V Pokemon, then Fighting Instinct's going to reduce it by 2. And then he's going to get the Thundurus kickoff, and I get to just lose the game there. But if I can go all out next turn, knock out the Zapdos, and maybe they don't play another copy of Zapdos, that I can win the game. But this is unfortunate. This guy right here is a card that was printed to beat this guy right here. And, well, that's not good for me. Stormy Mountains, huh? What deck is this? What's going on here? Let's see. Let's see what we've got cooking up in this pot, this hot pot of Zapdos plus friends. Jolteon, okay. Interesting. Elemental Badge comes down. We can't do much about it. An Aurora Energy. So our opponent is playing like some sort of toolbox, it looks like. There's a pretty good chance they're going to aim to just keep this in the active, maybe retreat it, maybe switch it. Maybe they think our hand, probably have Marnie in hand. They don't want to play because my hand is bad, they think. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Because I grabbed the VMAX, but the only decision you take like a long time therefore is if I have Marnie or not. Okay, I don't have the Moltres anymore, but I have Orbeetle. Is this just spread, I guess? Spread, draw, heal, probably heavy Cheryl. That kind of gimmick. So what we're gonna do here, I think, is we're gonna evolve into the VMAX. Now that doesn't seem like the smartest play. I agree, but we're gonna do that. We're gonna do this. We're going to do a quick deck search because I want to shuffle up the cards that were at the bottom. We do have another E-switch. Sorry. We're gonna switch into the no. I switched into the Koffing I put down this turn. I meant to switch into the other Koffing, but it's okay. Tails. I actually would have gotten the knockout. That's kind of wild if I just did not play scared. Okay. We're going to go ahead and just Ascension. And this way we're going to limit the ability that's going to be happening to us. Which means I can stop this Orbeetle's ability from coming in. I can stop this Zapdos' Fighting Instinct. I can stop the Chinchino's Make Do. So we've got ourselves some time to kind of play the game. The play that you guys see that I would have gotten the knockout, that's not a correct play, but it would have been really funny if I got the knockout. It just would not have been the correct play, is what I'm saying. So they would need a boss's orders right here as their last card in hand to take 3 prize cards. So we're hoping that there's no boss's orders as their last card in hand. It's probably research, right? It's got to be research. It's got to be research. It's got to be. You can't make do. You can't Orbeetle. You can retreat, I guess, and run. But what else? What else can you do? What else can our opponent do? I don't really know what's going on with this deck. It seems like a hodgepodge of stuff. A Stormy Mountain's grabbing themselves another Jolteon. Maybe the game plan is to go Orbeetle into Jolteon, into using Chinchino to draw cards. Like I said, Cheryl earlier. That feels like a very viable strategy. I don't hate it. It seems cool. You have a lot of text to deal with stuff. Again, the answer to Urshifu probably is not in this deck. But you play Aurora, so what could you play? Could you play Necrozma with Rhyhorns? Maybe. I don't know. Our opponent's taking a little bit of a time, so I assume they don't have an out to ourselves here. So we can honestly use Weezing until they have an out. We can literally sit here and use Weezing until they have an out. Cool. 1 card hand. Hiding Dark. Boom. I'm going to lose both my E-switches, but I think that's okay. We're just going to play the game the way we want to play it now. We get another Wheeze Khalifa. We get to accelerate. And, yeah, let's Severe Poison. So now we're putting pressure on. It's not a lot of pressure, but it is 80 damage in between turns. If they choose not to retreat the Zapdos, they get to draw a card. Now, important to note, Jolteon has free retreat, and Orbeetle has 1. So it's not like our damage is going to ever stick. Special Lightning comes down. Draw 2. So they're now up. All 3 of these cards are... Or no, this card's probably still there from last turn. These 2 cards are probably completely new, because this would have been attached last turn. There's no reason not to attach it last turn. Bird Keeper. Okay. That's an interesting card in this situation. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. That one's a little bit sus. Sus for me. So we're in a situation where we have to answer this Moltres, which is really unfortunate. So we're going to have to kind of do something about that Moltres, or not Moltres, the Zapdos. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to retreat. We have all the numbers we need. We'll go ahead and accelerate here. Dire Flame Wings. And we'll go ahead and Dreaded. So we have to answer the Zapdos, unfortunately, or it will just take 3 free prizes, and the game will end. Now the problem is, what's our path to win? Because we need to take out a 3-prizer, and we need to take out a Chinchino, I think. And that is our path to win. Now, with 3 Orbeetle spreads, this Weezing will go down. So these 2 Weezings are a little bit of a liability. That's 2 free prizes for our opponent. If they can target down the Crobat as well as the Moltres, the game will end, actually. I think that's like a little bit of a mistake on my part for overbenching there. So I give them 2 free prizes, really. But Hammer might be able to buy me some time. 180 is enough of damage here. I don't need to overbench here like crazy in case of path. Turffield Stadium. Wow, this is actually a very interesting deck. It's like combining what we know and some other spicy stuff. Okay, so this Crobat coming down doesn't change the game at all for us, because we still need to take a 3-prizer out and then one of these things, I guess. So the game doesn't change significantly for us. If we take out the Crobat and they accidentally bench something, then it seems fine, but I don't want to like rely on our opponent making a mistake necessarily to win the game. So there's the Orbeetle spread. They probably play, like I said, heavy copies of Bird Keeper here. Probably heavy copies of U-turn board's gone, I believe. So Balloon, probably. Let's see it. Let's see the switch. There it is. There's going to be 100 here. I think if they're smart, they target the Moltres. See, this was a bad knockout. This is not something you do, because that 20 damage is probably very easy to get to again. So I would not have done that play. Okay, let's go ahead and hammer. Tails. Okay. Tails sometimes fails, you know what I'm saying? Great Ball. I can draw cards. Maybe I don't want to give him cards. Let's not give him more cards. I have hammers left, so let's make this play. I haven't seen basic energy yet, but I don't want to give him that anyway. The satisfaction of having that stadium. Double tails. Damn, unfortunate. Dread End once again. And now, at the very least, this turn has to be a Cheryl Max Rumble into E-turn and probably Crobat. Which means then off the back of 3 spreads plus E-turn, you win the game. 3 spreads. So you could do like a retreat this turn, spread, switch, Cheryl, attack, and then next turn, a retreat, Bird Keeper, switch, okay, attack, knockout. And that would be the game. It's a little bit like optimistic, I guess, to have all those pieces. But I was gonna say that, like, this is the turn you need Cheryl, really. And it doesn't look like there was a Cheryl found. There's a million cards in my opponent's hand, so this does incentivize me to Marnie. I don't think I'm at threat of losing the game now, actually, like on this upcoming turn. Little bit of a weird threat analysis split here. We'll go hiding energy here. We're going to go ahead and play the good old Marnie. Our opponent does have a 8-card hand. That is really what I'm a little bit afraid of. I have the boss now for next turn, which is A-okay with me. Let's go ahead and hammer. 3 tails? Okay. We always retreat here because we want to make it harder for our opponent to actually win the game. If we leave the Eternatus active, there's a good chance they can go spread, spread. They can't spread a 3rd time. Spread, spread, Zigzagoon. Spread, spread, Zigzagoon. Knockout. That's their line. Spread, spread, Zigzagoon, knockout would be their line. So there is a line. It's not an impossible line. I'm putting them at 5 cards. They will be able to get to draw a card or 2 cards with Chinchino, and they will get a supporter. So it'd have to be literally spread, spread, whatever. So that'd be 2 switches or Bird Keeper and a switch, plus Elemental Badge, plus Energy, plus, okay, there's a lot of cards. So maybe they don't get it, but you still do the correct play for the sake of doing the correct play. You never just do a wrong play for the sake of doing the wrong play. So we'll see what comes of this turn. I think I should have it in the bag. I think I should have it unless there's a Marnie. We've got the boss in hand. This beautiful, beautiful Chinchino is a bench sitter that is just ripe for the taking. Like, Eternatus is such a simple deck. And as we're drawing to the end of the game, guys, I'm going to reiterate one more time. There's a Zigzagoon. See? I told you guys. I told you guys. I told you guys. I told you guys. There's a spread again. I still lose now with a... If these 3 exact cards are boss, energy... No. It has to be switch. It has to be switch... Switch, boss, elemental badge, energy. No, he can't have enough cards. He can't have enough cards. We did it. I think we did it, chat. We did it, Reddit. If you guys enjoy the content, obviously, remember to like, subscribe the video. It helps me out a lot. Any comments as well. Also, always help me out. You guys are absolutely amazing. I've been seeing a lot of love on the Battle Breakdown channels. I have a couple of videos ready to go for you guys. Or I'm going to record them this weekend before I head out for vacation. And they will be some of the matches that you guys did request. 2019 NAIC Finals. 2019, I believe there was a top 4 game that somebody requested from EUIC. Some of the 2017 matches. There's a lot of really good matches in Pokemon history that have kind of fallen off to the wayside. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pull those up, try to pull off what I can, kind of get that ball rolling for you guys and see what I can do to educate and further get you there. We're going to Great Ball first to kind of thin our deck. Whatever. Let's go ahead and Quick Ball. We'll just grab this, get it out of the deck. Does not even matter here at this point. We switch, and we got a brand new 6 cards, and we got to hit a boss's orders here. Boss is orders. There it is. There's the boss. We're going to bring up that Zigzagoon that was so tricky earlier, and we're going to dread end it, and that's the game. Thank you guys for today's video. Remember to check out more of my content over here at the Best Viewed channel for you guys for the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this content, and I will see you guys. Stay healthy, stay happy as always, and I'll see you guys Wednesday.